Hi everyone, welcome back to SmugMug Live. This is episode 87. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm your host, Alastair Jolly, and as always, you are very welcome here to our tips and tricks episodes of SmugMug Live, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and we will continue our little journey today into the customization of a SmugMug site. SmugMug Live is brought to you, as always, by SmugMug and Flickr. If you're looking for an incredible place to have a photo website to showcase your images to the world, to store your images online in the cloud, or to have an incredible e-commerce solution to sell your imagery, then obviously this is the place to be, and check out everything we have to offer at smugmug.com. But if you're looking to be part of an incredible photo community, discussing all things photo related and showcasing all your work with people who have a similar approach to photography or love the same genre, then check out all the things you can do over at flickr.com. So as always, I'm going to ask you to give yourself a shout out in that chat window. Pop over there and let us know who's joining us today. And of course, if you have any questions for me, either about the customization tips that I'm going to be showing, or maybe at the end of the show we can get to some general Q&A, then post them in the chat window. Start your question with the word question so I can find it in the chat window, and yeah, we'll get to asking some questions. I would also really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell notification. That way you'll be notified whenever we release another episode here on SmugMug Live. So it is a Tuesday. Tuesdays are typically our tips and tricks episodes if all the technology plays ball and lets us stream. I'm glad to see this week it's all working great just now. Thank you to those of you who are already in the chat window saying hi. Really appreciate it. To Marisol, hi Marisol, thank you for joining us. Mauro, thank you for joining us as always from Slovenia. It's great to see you in here again. And if you have any questions today, or you want to give yourself a shout out, then go ahead and hit that chat window. We'll pull you up on the screen here. Hello, Douglas. Good of you to join us. Douglas, good. You're good. I'm Jolly. We're all great. So, right, let's get into some tips and tricks. So over the previous weeks, we've done some interesting things with the demo site that I have. I'm going to pull it up on screen here. So this is EMG demo site, a site that I use to demonstrate all the things we can do at SmugMug, and we play about with it and break it and move all the bits around. But over the last few weeks, we've looked at some things such as making an independent home screen. So this home screen that we're looking at, you'll be familiar with from the last few weeks, where it's different from every other page on the website. We've added content blocks in the past few weeks. So in this page, we've added a logo content block. We've added a navigation menu content block. And we've also looked at adding background elements to the home screen. So here we have this lovely full screen video playing as the background to this home page, and I showed how to do photo slideshows or just have a still image as the full background for your home page. What else have we done over the last few weeks? We've added some galleries. So we added some galleries to this portfolio page. Here you can see the galleries that we've added there. And we've also added some other content blocks as single items, such as on the About page. We've added this single photograph of me, and we've added a text content block. So, we've started adding all those various elements to the site. And one of the requests I had previously was, could I showcase how to add galleries, folders and galleries to a site so that clients can come and see all the work that you have stored on your website. So today's little presentation is going to be about how you can build folders and galleries in your organizer, add them to your site, and allow people to come and look through all those galleries on your site. Marisol, I see your question. We'll come to that at the end after I've done this little demonstration on the customization. So if you hold tight, we will get to that. So let's go back to this demo site, and we'll go back to the home page. And What I want to do today is, as I say, add the situation where someone can come to your site, a client for yours can come to your site and find the images, probably here in the menu, to all the photographs you've taken for all your clients over the years. This scenario, let's imagine we're a photographer that photographs weddings and portraits and maybe does a little bit of commercial work. And if we go to the organizer, if I click on organize up here, and we go into the organizer of this demo site, you will see that I have a folder. If I zoom in here, you can see I have a folder here just above me called Client Galleries. And if I expand that and scroll down, let me just hide myself so you can see it a little bit better. You can see within this folder and organizer, I have another folder called Wedding Clients, I have another folder called Portrait Clients and Commercial Clients. Inside these folders are more folders. So within the Wedding Clients folder, there's a folder for every year that I photographed weddings. And if we go into one of these folders, you'll see that there are actual galleries where I have some images stored for clients. Now, one of the great ways to let people find their images very easily is to have a page where they can go and they can see all the different galleries that you've photographed. So that's what we're going to demonstrate today. So let's go back to the photo site. And the first thing we need to do is build an item menu where they can click to go find the work that you've done. So typically on a website, you might see something like client galleries or print galleries, or maybe even something like shop. And when you click on that, it takes you to the work that you have for sale. So in this scenario where we're a wedding photographer, I want to add a menu item that takes people to my client galleries. So let's head on over here to the Customize tab. We click on Customize, and again, we're on this blue area in the navigation pane up here on the right. We're in the home page. So where this menu is on the home page, we're going to add a section here. But something to bear in mind, we've created an independent home page, which is different from every other page on our site. So we actually have two menus. We have a menu here on the home page, and we have a menu on every other page. So if I go to the entire site section of the customizer, you'll see that my menu is up here, and those are two different menus. So let's change those. So let's add this link to a new place on my SmugMug site. And what I want to do is create a new link. Let me just show you how I did that. I did that quite quick there, but if you click on this little plus icon, it will allow you to add a new link. This new link I'm going to call Client Galleries. Okay, now when someone clicks on this link, where is it going to go? So it's going to go to a page, and on that page I'm going to add all my folders and galleries. So I'm going to go to a page I choose as the option, and then I have to pick a page that menu item is going to point to. Now, previously we created this client galleries page, which is just an empty page, but you would have to go into your organizer and create this page before you can point at it. So I click done, and you can see that that link will now go to my client galleries page, and you can see it's there. So contact me in client galleries, and if I look here, it's already added it to the menu on my site. So I'm going to hit done there, and then I'm going to have to go to my home page, and I'm going to have to do the same thing down here on this menu so that it's available on the two menus that are on my site. So again, go to links, click the plus, add a new link, client galleries, if I could spell that properly. And again, it's going to go to a page I choose. It's going to go to that same page. So again, I'm going to choose this client galleries page, which is just an empty page I created in the organizer. Click done, and that menu is also updated now with that option to go to the client galleries. So if I hit done and I hit publish now, that those menus have been saved. But if I click on those client galleries if I click on that menu item and it takes me to the page, you can see that the page is empty. I haven't customized the page yet or added anything to it. So what I now want to do is add those client folders that I showed you in the organizer, the weddings folder, the portrait folder, and the commercial folder. I'm going to add those to this page so that when clients come to my page to find their images, they can self-select what type of client they are. So again, I'm going to go over to the customizer up here in the top right, click on customize. I'm on that page, and this is the page I want to customize. And you can see here now in the location pane, it says that I'm just customizing this page. I'm not customizing anything else on the site. And again, we're just going to add a content block to do all this. And the wonderful thing about working with folders and galleries, in future, once I've done customizing this page, in the future when I want to add content to it, I just do it in the organizer. I just create a new gallery or a new folder and it'll automatically show up on the page. That would become a little bit more self-explanatory as I work through this. But the magic that does all that is one of these content blocks under galleries. And for my example, I'm going to choose this content block that's called folders. So that content block is just going to add those folders that I want to this page. So I simply drag that content block into the center of the page where I want it, and I just let it go. And I now have that folders content block on my client galleries page. But I haven't told it what to do yet, so it says there's no folders found. So what we have to do is tell it what folders we want to show on this content block. So I'm going to go to the little tool icon, the little wrench or spanner, click on that, and you can see that I have lots of settings now, as most content blocks tend to have. I don't want the word folders up there, so I'm actually going to delete that. But here it's the important parts are where do I want it to select the folders from. So I'm going to choose the folders. So it's going to be folders that I choose. And then it's going to ask me to go choose those folders. Now, when I click on choose folders, it takes me to the folders picker. And in this folders picker, you will see all the folders that are available on your site. Now, this is a demo site, so it doesn't have a great deal of content on it. It only has two folders. One is an archive folder that's unlisted and not being used for the site purposes, just for storage purposes. But here's this client galleries folder that I mentioned earlier. And if I click on that and open it, you'll see that there are those three client folders that I showcased earlier in the organizer. Now, a little important piece of information: the order that you pick these folders in this picker is the order that they will appear on the site. So when I pick weddings as the first one, it will show up first on the left of the site. Then I want to show portrait clients, and then I want to show commercial clients. But you could choose those in any order that you want. I head down here to the bottom right and I just hit done, and hopefully you will see that those three folders have now been added to this content block. But we're not done. We now have the option to customize how they look on this page. At the moment, they're quite small little squares on the page. So let's do something about that. So I do like the layout being selected as grid. You'll remember previously when we've customized galleries on the site, we've added the ability to have collage landscape, which means that they will show in the ratio of the image ratio that's selected. But I want to keep them uniform, and I'm just going to keep them as a grid. But what I am going to do is I'm going to increase the size. So on the photo size, I'm going to choose extra large. And you can see now, once I hit done, that we have these nice big folders for clients to choose when they come to the site. But let's customize them a little bit more just through the settings. So here I'm going to choose the display tab at the top here, which allows me to customize some other features. I'm going to open up the spacing between each of those images. So I'm going to make that 4 pixels. You'll see the images just have a little bit more of a gap between them. I'm going to turn off the little icon here that shows that it's a folder. So let me turn off that icon. I'm going to leave the information, the words wedding clients and portrait clients, etc., in the bottom bar. You could have them underneath. So here, if I scroll up a little bit, you can see it's put the word underneath now. But I do like bottom bar. Or you could have it covering. So there you would have it in the center. In fact, let's leave it in the center of the site, but let's center alignment as well, right in the center, so that the word is in the center. So that's, various options with, just choosing some settings within the folders settings tab that you can really customize the look and feel of the experience people have when they come. In fact, I'm just going to put that back to bottom bar. I think I really prefer the bottom bar where the word appear at the bottom. So I click done, and if I just hide myself, you can see that we now have these these three folders available to our customers when they come to the client's gallery section. So I'm just going to hit done at the top right. Again, every time you change something in the customizer, you have 3 options. You can discard these changes if you don't want to keep them, if they're, if you don't think you want the customizing changes that you've just done. Of course, you can publish it now, which makes it live to the world, or you can save those changes for later, which doesn't change it to anybody visiting your site, but it stores those images for the next time you go to customize. For now, I'm just going to hit publish now, and you'll see that these are now live, and these folders are now available whenever someone clicks on the client gallery section. So if I go back to my home page, someone comes here and they're a client and they want to see their images, they go to client galleries. Then they go here and they say, well, I was a wedding client, so I'm going to go look at his wedding images. And when they click on that folder, what they're going to see is, I did make a little change earlier. I need to add that back. Let me just change that back because I did delete that earlier when I was doing my setup for this. So let me just check that works. So go to client galleries, click on wedding clients, and I'm not seeing it. Okay, bear with me. I did make some changes earlier today while I was setting up for this, and I may have accidentally deleted the bit I wanted to show you. So let me see here. This is the downside of having one demo site that I'm always demoing, not just on the live shows, but during the day when I'm working with other people individually, is I can sometimes remove things that I shouldn't be removing. But let's see if I can get it back for you. 1 second. I think what I need to do is add that back in there. Yeah, there we go. Just check that works for you folks before I move on. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Right. So, teaches me not to delete things just before we go live on air. So I'm going to click on the wedding clients section. And when I click on the wedding clients section, what it will do is it's going to automatically open the content that's inside that folder. And as I showed you in the organizer, inside that folder is a whole bunch of other folders by year. So what I'm trying to get to is the point where my clients can come to the site, click on client galleries, click on weddings because they're a wedding client. And when they go here, they know what year their wedding was in. So if it was a client from 2018, they could then click on 2018. And again, I deleted this bit, so bear with me while I add that little bit back. Just have to add the galleries back there. So, okay, galleries. Yeah, there we go. It should be working now. 1 second. I think we got it. Done. Sorry, folks, not a great demo when you can't see what I'm doing, but it's just because I deleted those things earlier. Nope. Why is that not coming back? Sorry, talk amongst yourself just for 1 second while I get this working. So that needs to be in the folder section, and that needs to be in the gallery section. This is when you know it's a true demo, folks, when the demonstrator is having to show you things in the fly as well. So if I click on there, okay, got it working now. Again, never delete stuff before you go live on air. So click on the weddings folder. You see all the folders that were in that initial folder within the organizer. Click on another folder, such as the 2021, and then you'll see every gallery that is inside that folder. So here I only have one wedding in that folder for 2021, and then the client can choose their wedding, click on it, and it'll open all the images that are inside that gallery. So that is one way to create galleries for clients. Again, if I click on the portraits one, you'll see the galleries that are inside the portraits. And if we click on the gallery, this gallery has a few more images in it. You can go there and see the images that are inside that gallery. So that is a good way to have a flow on your website that whenever someone wants to see the work that you photographed for them, they just self-select what type of client they are. Once they click on it, they then see the galleries that are within that folder. Click on the gallery that they have, and they can see all their images. Now, of course, there may be situations where you don't want everybody to be able to see all those images that are on your website. You maybe, or typically, only want your clients to see those images that belong to those clients. So what you can do in the settings of all these galleries is create a password for your clients, so that when they come to this gallery, they'll be asked to enter that password for their client, so that they can't just pop straight in when someone else's website or someone else's gallery and see all those galleries. So typically you'll password protect these. Sorry, I'm just reading some questions coming in. Let's have a little look at the questions so far. Marisol, I do see your question. I'll come back to that one. Starling, you're saying I like to really work on customizing my SmugMug site. When I go to the videos, there are so many, I get confused. So many things that you can customize on a SmugMug site. Starling, sorry, it's confusing, but just choose one topic at a time. I'm really hoping that these tips and tricks episodes are helping you. I know you've been here regularly watching the episodes. What I'd also like to show you today is some examples of how you can use what I've just shown you to great effect, where you create folders, and within those folders there are galleries, and people come and look at your work. So I've got a couple of example SmugMug sites to show you today. One is my dear friend Tina Eisen, who sells these beautiful art pieces, and you'll see here that, in fact, if we go to her homepage, what she has on her homepage are two folders. This is one folder which is for her US customers, and then another folder over here, which is this image, which is for her UK, European and international customers. Now, what's really great here is Tina's went to the effort of creating individual pieces of artwork. I don't mean the artwork in the frame, but I mean this whole image, where she's showcasing her photograph in a beautiful print. She has this section up here where she's highlighting what clients need to click on what image here. So these two images are obviously created beforehand, but they are just folders. These are just the featured image of that particular folder. And then when you click on that folder, it takes you to a page on her site. And within that folder section are the galleries, which are showcasing down here. But Tina has used the customizer to customize the sections above the actual galleries themselves. So she's added a text content block. She's added this huge image at the top here, which is a piece of marketing, a piece of sales imagery. So she's created this beautiful imagery telling what she's selling, talking about discount codes, and showing what the discount codes are. As I say, she's added this text block. And then when you click on the individual galleries, let's choose the glitter one. You can see here it takes you to the individual photos in the gallery. And you can see that there, again, is a text content block above here, giving some people some information that people can, give them some instructions on how to buy. And then when you click on the individual images in the gallery, then you're taken to the e-commerce section where people can then buy those prints. Now, these are just galleries and folders, just a simple way to use to let people find their way through the site. If there is a new image added to that gallery, Tina doesn't have to do anything either on this page or this page. They will just show up within these collections. Or if she added a new collection, it'll automatically show up here on this page, because she's given her site the instruction to show the folders on that page. And then when you click on the folder, show all the galleries. So simply by adding galleries into those folders, they will be available on her website to sell to customers without her having to redesign this page or create new little icons for where the galleries have to go. And here's another example of this. This is another dear friend of mine, Jill Heinerth, who's a underwater photographer and cave explorer. And she's done something very similar. She's created these two pages, icons here. So you can see she's created some artwork to highlight what this page is. When you click on that page icon, it takes you to a page that has all the galleries on it, and you can select, let's select one, shipwrecks. You click on that gallery, and it takes you to a whole page of all her shipwreck images, and you can buy those by clicking on them. Again, it will take you to the e-commerce section. Now, if Jill was to add new images to this gallery, they would automatically show up. If she was to add new galleries to her selections, again, when you click on this page, those galleries would automatically show up in here, because the hierarchy that she's chosen to do is the folders and gallery structure, and it just lets people find them very, very easily on your site. Right, let's pop back over to the questions. Let's see, Starlene question, are the videos labeled customized your SmugMug site, Starlene? Starlene, yeah, in the YouTube page that you're watching this video on, there's a playlist called Tips and Tricks, and I'm pretty sure I've updated the descriptions with what those episodes are about, but you can go through there, and I'll double check after the show to make sure each of those is marked customization. But any episode, most of the episodes within tips and tricks playlist have something to do with customizing your site or creating your site or that type of thing. Damien says, great info. Is there an archive of all these tips available? I see this is episode 87. I'm new to SmugMug and want to learn. Yeah, same answer to you. You've got 87 episodes to catch up with, but not all the episodes are tips and tricks episodes. I typically live stream twice a week. Tuesdays are tips and tricks episodes, and Thursdays are typically a guest photographer who joins me to talk about their work or some education, that type of thing. So I have a little list here actually of previous tips and tricks episodes. So let me tell you, in episode 54, we talk about the SmugMug app. Episode 66, we talk about uploading and using the Mac uploader specifically. Episode 69, adding a contact form to your site. Episode 73, we talked about the client area, which is a slightly different way of adding a section for your clients to come and find work that you've shared privately with them. Episode 75, a really important one, is building price lists, how to create price lists so that when people find your work, they can buy it. And then the episode 77 is really important. It's about working with themes and how to customize the look and feel of your site. So let me go back to this demo site. Here you can see there's a certain font that we've used. There's the color of the font, the type of font, the size of it. If I go to the portfolio page, you can see that the background color here is white, but there's a slightly grayer header color. All that's all done within Themes tab. When you click on the customizer and head over here, there's a Themes tab here which lets you customize all those things, which is the theme, the color theme of your website, including things like fonts, etc. So check that out in episode 77. And then episodes 82, 84, and today's episode 87 are all about customizing the layout of your actual site. So those are some things to have a little look back at. And yeah, you've got a few hours to catch up with, Damien, but I'm so glad that you are here. And hopefully these will be of help to you. Right. That was moving folders and galleries and adding them to your site. Very simple way. But basically, if you add a content block that is a folder content block and you choose a folder, then anytime anybody clicks on that content block, they'll see all the content that's within that folder and ultimately the end galleries and the images that you see. I think next week might be interesting if we go further and then start looking at how people can get access to those galleries by using some of the privacy settings, things like passwording and maybe a refresh on private sharing, and also creating unlisted and public galleries and the difference between those. So I think I'll do that next week. Let's see, actually here's a question, a wonderful question from a dude with a camera. That sounds like a lot of us. Dude with a camera, thank you so much for your question. I haven't found a way to create a gallery for a client which would allow the client to favorite images other than creation of event, which in my honest opinion is not a good solution, or am I missing something? So actually events is the way to favorite images for your clients. Maybe I'll do an episode as well all about the events tool that allows you to create specific kind of landing areas for your clients, so that they can come and create favorites. And there's also some other wonderful things that does, is it allows you to integrate favoriting those favorited images into something like Lightroom if you're using our Lightroom plugin. So if you're wanting a bit more information about favoriting, then I think I'll do an episode all about how to build an events tool. But also, you said it's not a great solution. It actually there's some real benefits to using an event tool that I think I will cover in a whole episode for itself. Right, let's go back to Marisol. Thank you for waiting, Marisol. I still don't know how to add the option of selling digital images to the cart. Right, so again, what did I say? Episode 75 is all about building that price list, but that's an easy one to demonstrate. So if I go back to the site here and go to my account settings, so let me just check, you can see that. Okay, yeah, so very top right, you'll see a little profile image either of yourself or a little silhouette of a person. Here you'll want to go to the account settings tab. And when you're in your account settings, you want to go to this section called business. And when you click on business, assuming you have either our portfolio account or our pro account, you will see the ability to sell your images. So there's a section called selling, and there should be a section called price lists. Now, it says here I have a total, can you see that? Does that zoom in? Yeah, a total of 23 price lists. Again, that's mostly because this is the demo site. I'm constantly demoing, making price lists for people. So yeah, you can see test. Lots of old legacy demo price lists here. But let's just create one more to that list. Let's make it 24 price lists today. So I'm going to click create new. When you create a new price list, you will have to give it a name. So we will call this one Marisol, seeing as we're demonstrating it for you, Marisol. Hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Let's stick with Bay Photo in California. Assume it's an American audience that's buying your work. We'll keep the prices in US dollars. I'm going to get the lab to color correct it for me. I'm not going to choose suggested pricing. That's where we would populate the price list based on the kind of data that we see of common pricing for those elements, those products. I'm going to turn that off because I just want to add a couple of price lists today. So I don't want to offer greetings cards. I don't want to offer albums because I just want to demonstrate digital downloads. And I create this new price list, which is empty. There's nothing in it at the moment. When I go to choose products, here you can see that the first few images are actually the way to add downloads as options for your customer to buy them, Marisol. So there's four different download options here. There's the option to sell images with a personal use license. So that's typically a photographer selling an individual photograph to a customer directly, like a private customer, an individual. And then there's also commercial use license where you're selling it to an organization and have a bit more stricter control over the licensing of that. And of course, the other two downloads are actually relating to video. Because you can obviously upload video. Maybe you've uploaded some little video clips from a wedding or something like that. But we're going to talk about individual personal downloads at the moment. And when you click on the little drop down arrow here, there's various things that you can sell. You can sell the whole gallery. So let's sell the whole gallery at high res at the original size. That would give them the option to buy the entire gallery for a set price. Print marked galleries, that means when someone buys those images, it would have, it's the opposite of a watermark. A print mark is, like a piece of text or something that's printed on the image. That's very useful when people are doing organizational events and they want the branding or some commentary from the event host or organizer, so they want that printed on it. The most common one is a single photo, so we sell the high-res version of a single photo and of course the print marked version of a single photo. But I'm just going to add these two. I'm going to add the original high-res. Well, there's high-res and there's original. Original is the full high-res that you uploaded. High-res is just slightly smaller than the original. And the single photo, so I click done, and I now have two prices in this or two items in this price list now, Marisol. The gallery, I could go in here and I could say I want to sell the entire gallery for $250. and I want to sell individual photos for $25 each, something like that. And then all I have to do is hit apply. And that price list should be down here. There you go, Marisol. You can't actually see it because I'm hiding it, but that new price list is created. And now when any gallery that you assign that price list to, again, let me go back into that price list. If I say edit, you'll see that there's currently, sorry, I zoomed in the wrong place. There's currently no galleries available or assigned to this price list. If I click on those galleries, I can then go and say, well, I want that price list to apply to my Iceland gallery, or I want it to apply to all galleries. And I click done. And that is it. Apply those changes. And now when you go to that price list, those digital downloads should be available for you, Marisol. I hope that answers your question. Right, let's see what else we have over here. Damien, thanks, Alastair. I will mark my calendar to watch these episodes twice a week. We'll go through the archive. Awesome. Thanks, Damien. I appreciate you showing the support there, and I hope you enjoy all the past episodes. So a few questions there to decide what we work on next. I think next week what we'll do is have a look at the event tool. So a dude with a camera. Make sure you come back next week and we'll play around with the event tool and show you some of the features you can do on that. And what was the other thing? I think I was going to show, just looking through the questions here. Yeah, I'll look back at what those questions were and we can do that. So hopefully that has been of interest. Just another quick episode showing you some manipulation of using folders and galleries within your site. So if there's no further questions, I'll give you last shout out for questions. But while we're waiting, I'll ask you, as always, to hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell notification. That way you will be notified whenever we release another episode. Please do come back and join us next Tuesday for another episode looking at tips and tricks. Yeah, no more questions popping in at the moment. My feed is slightly behind the stream that you're seeing, so I always like to give it just a little bit longer. But I thank you as always, wherever you are in the world, for joining us today. You know, stay safe wherever you are, be kind, look after each other, and we'll see you back here for another episode of SmugMug Live when we go through some of your questions and some of the info on how to use a site. But for now, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.